There are lots of different jobs in this world and many come with different perks. One that was particularly important to me was to be able to wear headphones while working, or over the ear earphones, whatever you want to call them, so that I could listen to things like music and podcasts while I do my work. Now, having worked over 5 years in my industry being engineering, I thought it might be worthwhile to talk about because it's something that I didn't really consider before I decided to go to university, and it's something that definitely has played a part in my daily life ever since I started working. Like, I listen to music every single day while I'm working, and it's something I really enjoy. It's something that gives me a lot of joy out of doing my job. So I thought it'd be worth talking about. And throughout this video, I'm going to touch on other jobs that might fit into this category of letting you listen to content while you are working. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Reece, and in today's video, I'm going to be talking about jobs that let you wear headphones all day long and how it has helped me throughout my career. Like I mentioned, I am in the engineering field. I have worked as a full-time engineer for over 5 years. In my office, I, alongside my colleagues, are allowed to wear earbuds and over-the-ear headphones pretty freely. It really is a great perk. As long as we are responsive to our environment, meaning if someone comes up to us, we should be able to quickly pull them off and answer a question or help out with a problem that they have to keep productivity going throughout the day. It's a pretty easy trade-off, and it's not something that's too difficult to manage. Personally, I find wearing headphones and earbuds in the office to be really beneficial. I work in an open office space. It is a big open floor plan. There are lots of people talking, there are lots of distractions to be had throughout the day. When I can plug in and just chug on with my job, it really definitely helps me focus in on my tasks, and it's something I'm going to talk about a little bit later in this video, being the benefits of doing this. For context, I use the Bose QC35 Mark IIs, which are an over-the-ear headphone while I'm in the office. They are noise cancelling, they are a perfect set of headphones. I seriously absolutely love these headphones. Not promoted by Bose, I just really love this product. I've left a link down in the description below. If you wanted to find out more about them, feel free to use it. I also use a Bose pair of wired headphones, and I use them for talking on the go because I can hold the microphone right to my mouth. The only gripe I really have with these is that the microphone's up here, and when they're on your ears, it's kind of hard for people to hear you versus having wired ones with a microphone right here. I think it's a necessary purchase for anyone who works in an office that lets you wear them. Personally, I've used these so much that I've got my money out of them, and I really just wanted to mention that before I continued with the video. So let's move on to a more fun aspect of today's video, being let's talk about some of the other types of jobs you might be able to wear headphones in all day long. And I'm going to skip any funny business and ignore jobs that would actually require you to wear headphones, such as an audio technician, a musician, or maybe a DJ. And just quickly, if there are any other strong contenders that I miss in my list that I'm about to go through, please drop me a comment down below. I'd definitely be interested to find out what I missed. Now would be a really good time to quickly hit that like and subscribe button as well. It really helps the channel grow. I really appreciate the support, and let's get into it. Obviously, strong contenders are going to be office-based jobs. One of the most common would be data entry jobs, which has people basically manually putting information into programs online. This can be a really boring job for the most part, but you can definitely learn how to use software that is definitely desirable in other fields of work, such as Excel. It's definitely a really strong contender here. Data entry jobs would be number one on my list, where you'd be allowed to wear headphones all day long because it's kind of mandrolic, and listening to music or podcasts would probably keep you sane while doing this type of work. Number two on my list would be a business analyst. Now, this type of job usually sees people looking for improvements that can be made to efficiencies within a company, improvements to the job itself, improvements to work-life balance, all of the job-centric improvements and efficiencies that can be made in general. It is a job that is very common in large companies, and definitely one that you'd be able to wear headphones for pretty much all of your work, because most of it is investigative work. You're sending out emails, you're collating data. It's something that, again, sometimes needs degrees, sometimes doesn't. You'd have to look online to see if there were any jobs that don't require degrees in this particular case, but it's something that definitely would fit this category. Another strong contender would be quality assurance people. Now, these types of jobs see people making sure that employees of a company are following procedures, are being compliant to company policy. Their whole role is to basically audit staff members. So again, lots of data collation, lots of emails being sent out all day long. For the most part, you'd be able to have earbuds in your ears or headphones over your ears to listen to whatever you want to listen to while doing your job. Quality assurance generally needs a degree, something again to do some research on if it's something you might be interested in doing. Now, the next one definitely hits close to home. being a draftsman or a draftsperson, and their role is to take things like measurements and hand drawings and turn them into engineering drawings in software. So they can be printed, they can be modeled, they can be altered however required, and they can be used for large scale projects. This type of job, I've done it myself, is a very time consuming job, and there usually isn't that many interruptions once you get what you need to draft. Definitely a job that headphones would be allowed to be worn. Music could definitely be blasting through your ears while you're doing this. I've spent a lot of hours doing drafting. It's something that is not the funnest job in the world, pays all right though, and it's definitely an interesting job. If you get good at it, it can pay really well. Another one that I don't know if it's classified as office work would be any type of design work. I'm talking graphic designers, just designers in general, people who manage people in design functions. I know this firsthand because my partner actually works as a designer for a company, and it's really interesting seeing how she interacts on her day-to-day, because realistically she can listen to whatever she wants whenever she wants, because she's in an office, and once she gets set her tasks, she can go away and just smash them out. It's pretty common in the design world because a lot of independence is given to the actual worker to actually get on with the job and get it done. So definitely one to consider. Most design degrees these days do require degrees unless you are just really, really talented. If you possess raw talent, I am envious of you because my editing skills are not that good. My drawing is terrible. I'd definitely not survive if I had to save my life by drawing something, and it's something that definitely fits this category. And finally, on my list, I'm going to put a blanket down and just say any jobs in IT, because basically any jobs in information technology, any jobs with computers, are going to see people having pockets of time where they can listen to music, because a lot of the work is just independent work. Again, they get set tasks. Once they get on with their tasks, they should be able to just plug in and do whatever they want to do. It's really hard to hone in on specific IT jobs. Just understand that definitely those office-based IT jobs are going to allow you to have some freedom to listen to whatever you want to listen to while working. And this is pretty consistent for software jobs as well. Basically, any job that isn't customer facing, that requires you to be in an office or from home, you're going to be able to listen to whatever you want to listen to really while you're working. Now, before I wrap up today's video, I just want to talk about some key insights I've come across on this topic in particular, being listening to content, listening to music while working. Actually popping up in a few different locations, I've seen that listening to music can put people in a better mood. I agree with this, definitely resonate with this, which then sees them making fewer mistakes because they're more focused on the task they're doing, and they also become more efficient at the task as well, because once they get into their zone, they just start crunching away doing whatever it is that they're working on. They make a lot of progress in a very short period of time. It's something that I myself have experienced and definitely can attest to. Simply put, I find it easier to work on a specific task if I'm enjoying what I'm doing. Another one that I've seen pop up as well is that when you are doing repetitive tasks, listening to music can kind of make them bearable. Similar to the data entry job I mentioned just before, this definitely fits that criteria. It's definitely a really strong example of how doing something that could be considered really boring could be more enjoyable. I also came across a stigma that listening to music or listening to content can make your productivity go down, but I think this is definitely dependent on each and every individual. I've worked without music, I've worked without distraction, I've worked with distraction, with music, I've done all of the scenarios you can think of, and personally, if I can listen to music, plug in and just do what I need to do, I am in my zone. I am able to focus on what I need to do, and I'm able to be productive. Just as one simple example, something that I personally like to listen to while I'm working is the lo-fi hip hop channel here on YouTube. I've actually made a video talking about the channel, about how much money I think it's made over its entire existence. I think it's a really interesting deep dive into something that I truly love. It's something that definitely helps me get into my zone, and if you've never heard of it, definitely go over to the channel and just listen to it for like an hour. Just give yourself some time, and I'm sure you will fall in love too, especially if you're someone who needs some help because you get distracted at work and have the opportunity to listen to music while you work. That's pretty much all I have for today's video. I know it's not finance related in particular, but it was something that I considered when I wanted to go to uni. It's something that I definitely considered when I started applying for jobs, and now having worked in the industry full-time for 5 years, it's something that I look back on and go, I would be pretty upset if I couldn't listen while I work. It's just like listening to the radio when you drive home. It's really pleasant, really enjoyable. It's become part of my life, and I'd be sad to see if I wasn't allowed to do it anymore. And that's why I'm talking about it today, because finance doesn't always necessarily need to be about how to save money. It can also be about the career path you choose and why you choose it. And this is kind of one of those factors that I think not many people would take into consideration. It's something they'd put on the back burner and they go, oh yeah, if I can listen to music, great. But if it's a job that you're interested in and you get to listen to music, definitely take that into consideration when applying for something, because I work 9 to 5. I only work 4 days a week, but I work the same hours as a 9 to 5 job. And while I'm working, that's a long period of time over the next 30 years of my life. That's so much things I could listen to, so much music I could enjoy. And it's something that I think is worth talking about. And that's why I'm talking about it. But that's why I've stopped talking about it, because now I've reached the end of the video. So with that being said, I hope you enjoyed today's video. I hope it was insightful. I hope you learned something. I hope that I made you think potentially about how you want to approach applying for a job. And that's pretty much it. I hope you have a good day. I hope you have a good week. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button down below. I really do appreciate the support, but you already knew that. And I will see you in the next one. Bye for now. Am I yelling?